Good evening and welcome back to the CRL Tier 2 Championship. We are here at Las Vegas and Miami Grand Prix, just located away from Florida. This is Tier 2. We are here for round 7 and we kickstart a doubleheader, kicking off the heat here in Miami before we head off to Las Vegas. First up, it's the Miami International Circuit, 5.4 kilometers, 19 corners, and barely room for any errors with long straights and tight chicanes. It's a tight track that rewards rhythm and punishes mistakes. Then, of course, we head off to Las Vegas, where the 6.2 kilometer strip circuit delivers raw speed and chaos, 17 corners over 340 on the straights, and absolutely no good whatsoever. It's a high risk, high reward circuit. My name is Jamie, and alongside me tonight is Glowstick. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm alright. Your Scott's replacement for tonight, which is better than me being alone, so it's good to have a commentator with me.
I'm always happy to be here, of course. So we've got a one-shot qualified ahead of us as well. So these drivers, they're preparing their setups, preparing the tyres, and they've got the one lap to try and exceed the best lap time as they can, of course, without making any mistakes. And a try like this, where we're prone to mistakes, it is super technical as well, especially the first and last sector. Then you've got that long back straight where the overtaking can happen down towards turn 17. But in the championship standings, Diddy leads the way on 173 points, but behind him is Dan, close behind on 140. And of course, anything can happen tonight across the two races in Las Vegas and Miami, the two tracks where people don't tend to enjoy it, of course, obviously understandable, of course. But anyways, one-shot qualifying has begun then, and we start a flying lap around here at the Miami Grand Prix. 5.4 kilometers as we head down towards turn 1. I don't know who to watch, but let's go on board with the Haas of Strauss heading in towards turn 1 and turn 2. Navigates it nicely, short shifted there to reduce wheel spin on the exit. Nice rhythm and momentum and good at turn 3 as we now head towards 4 and 5 and go. The Sierra Taste should be a flat out corner as he takes the flat out there, lift off in towards the next few as we come towards this long looping left-hander and never ends. Then finally rotate the car, but missed the apex there as most people do on their first laps because it can be a bit difficult to try and rotate the car and meet up with the apex. But Carl Paradox and Strauss, two good friends of CRL, of course, both of them been in CRL for such a long time. Carl Paradox, of course, has been a champion of CRL, I think in Division 3 all them seasons ago, with Strauss being runner up in second place as we head down towards turn 11, another place where we see some overtaking. But Dan, Jamie Strauss and Carl Paradox, they're jockeying for position as we now head towards this chicane. We catch a lot of people out, especially hitting the inside wall. Not many people in league racing hitting the inside wall, but recently Williams and Carlos Sainz has done it back in the sprint race, and it ruined and wrecked his race. As now we head on to the back straight we go, the DRS wide open. This is where we'll see the most overtaking happening as we head down towards the heavy braking zone. As you can see, Strauss is quite low on the DRS, slamming the brakes there down towards fourth gear. Rotate the car and be very careful with traction on the exits, while the tyres will be hot on the stage as we make our way out of the final two corners we go. It is Jamie who takes pole with a 26.4 and he's 3 tenths clear of a second place glow stick.
Yeah, good luck from Jamie. It's gotta be weird for you, Jamie. Someone else is in the party, by the way. But we don't need to worry about that. But yeah, it's gotta be weird for you commentating with a guy named Jamie. But good luck from him. He got a pole last week, I believe, with Danjo in second. He wasn't racing last week. Harry Palmer in third then, with Strauss in fourth. At Spain, he won a race. He won the race in Spain, so he commentated on that. I didn't commentate on that. He commented on that last week, and it was good. Diddy fifth, Lil Wan sixth, Agast Arley in seventh, Cole Paradox eighth, Pesper Racing ninth, Clerk in 10th. That's all I've got time. That's the top 10.
So Jamie O'Pole then, like you said, and let's see if he can lead in towards turn number 1. We've got Dan right behind, of course, the man that's second in the championship. Then Dan is currently quite a few points behind. I think he's like 33 points behind or something away, and he is. So he's behind Diddy in the championship. Diddy has been quite strong. He showed up last season, of course, in Division 2, where Jake Garrett Phoenix absolutely dominated Division 2, but of course he's not here tonight as we have Diddy, who's in the championship by 33 points, Dan in P2, King with High Panda in third place ahead of the little one, and Harry Palmer in P5. Jamie coming in sixth in the championship. Cavolis in seventh ahead of Core Paradox. KXI in ninth ahead of DC, and Strauss is outside the top 10. And I've been led to believe that Strauss was the one that won that was the one who won the Spanish Grand Prix despite his first race. So Strauss, who did make an appearance in the last few races, won in Spain. So what a statement to bring. And he's currently catapulted himself up to P11 ahead of Toves in the championship as well. So nice statement there from Strauss. But let's see what we can do here tonight. I'm not quite sure what happened to Strauss in the last few races because obviously I haven't been here full time. But we'll see then what the Dutchman could do. And let's see how he performs here in Vegas and Miami. But obviously, Jack, you've been here more than me. And what are you expecting here tonight?
I'm expecting some surprises, like just some people being. Obviously, you got your front runners, the top 5 in the championship, but then there's also some surprises that happens as the formation lap is starting now. But there's sometimes some odd results, some surprises. One of them being Kavalis. He got a pole in Hungary a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, Strauss as well, winning the Spanish Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. So you get some nice surprises dashed in, like sprinkled in here and there, and it's kind of makes it more interesting instead of the usual winners that you might have in like tier 1s, for example. So it's just nice. It's quite close and quite equal performance and like drivers wise.
And as you can see up there, we've got a mixture of the soft compound tyres and medium runners there. So Jamie in the RB has gone for the soft compound tyres. The two McLaren boys behind him have opted to go for the medium compound tyres, then extending their stint before they go with the soft compound tyres. I remember back in the Hungarian Grand Prix where I think the alternate strategy was tried for Harry Palmer. It didn't quite pay out. Obviously, that was a full race distance there. Oh, Jamie spins in towards the chicane. He goes as Dan takes up on action there. So I'm not quite sure how Jamie's done that, but that is not ideal for Jamie because tyre wear does exist on the formation lap, so that means extra tyre wear will be put in that car as well. The soft compound tyres, the peak grip will be gone. The tyres are so sensitive, and a Sauber in the background has also spun as well. That is called paradox there. Spinning. Strauss has been disqualified. Caleb Barlett has been disqualified as well, known as KXI. But yeah, not ideal there for Jamie because those soft compound tyres are delicate, and plus the grip now will not be at its peak, and therefore he might suffer towards the last stage of the Grand Prix then on his soft compound tyres. So it could be Dan and Harry Palmer in the background there taking the advantage in towards turn number 1, but hopefully Jamie gets up to temperature, gets up to speed once again as all 17 drivers they make their way on the grid. And let's see what this Las Vegas or Miami Grand Prix, has for us in store. As all 17 drivers then make their way towards the grid with an RB on pole. Jamie currently finished in P3, I think, at the Australian Grand Prix. In the last race, of course, he took part in Division 1 last week. As now the 17 drivers are lined up on the grid. Diddy, where is he currently? Down in P5. Of course, last week's Australian Grand Prix winner with Harvey in P2. But let's see what happens going down towards turn 1. Jamie, though, has been disqualified from the formation lap, so starts a few metres backwards. Not ideal, but here are the lights then on the panels. And we get racing here in Las Vegas. Lights out and we're underway. Foot to the floor. As you can see there, the McLaren gets a lovely start. Straight abreast in towards turn 1. The RB in the middle. And he taps the back of the McLaren. Dan, who goes in towards turn 1. He's in the lead of the Grand Prix as Harry Palmer scraps away with Strauss. Strauss has had a mega start. Now puts the pressure on Jamie in front of us. As we head wheel to wheel, going down in towards 4 and 5. It's the VSC. As Panda, unfortunately, is out of the Grand Prix already. He makes contact with Eisen, I suppose. And that is a 10-second penalty there for the Aston Martin driver, but it's Dan who takes the lead. The softener of Jamie had a horrendous start with two McLarens alongside him.
Yeah, good start from both McLarens and Strauss as well. Jamie losing pole position straight away. Back at the back though, both Alpines have had terrible starts. Clerpiar has got damage, I'm pretty certain. Yes, he has. Basically his right side wing is completely gone, and it's actually not a virtual safety car, it's an actual full course safety car due to Panda crashing out. I'm guessing it was Aizen. The two teammates then coming together, so that's not great. Little one had a spin in going into the first corner, and yeah, that's why he's down in 15th, but at the front, good starts.
It is indeed then for Dan, who's trying to hunt down Diddy in the championship. The gap is 33 points. Diddy is currently still in P5 ahead of a gassed Alloy in P6 with Carl Paradox in 7th place there, as DC says hello in the chat, of course, the Tier 1 driver and an admin and a steward as well. Like I said, both Alpines at the back of the field, Clerpiar and Little One as well. I think both Alpines might have to make a trip to the pits, but Clerpiar does. But what does the safety car mean then? I don't think these guys will pit just yet. It's way too early in the Grand Prix to make a pit stop then, so I suspect that all these drivers will continue. But we've got a few people jumping the gun already. I think those guys on the soft powered tyres might get off that, go on the hardcore powered tyres, and the hards could definitely go towards the end. So let's see how the strategy plays out for them. Of course, it is a 20 lap race, of course, so these hards go definitely towards the end of the Grand Prix. No, Jamie, I'm tier 2 on my way back from A&E, and I'll be racing. Oh, sorry about that, DC. But whatever happened to you, I really hope that you recover well and get back to racing next week. So we've got half the field pitting and half not there. So PA10 down to P16 there. Some of the mediums and some of the hardcore part size. I suspect those mediums can go towards the end, but might have to pay a price towards the end of the Grand Prix. What does that mean then for the top 9 of this Grand Prix? Because it's a 20 lap race. The guys behind can theoretically make it towards the end, whilst the top 9 will have to go for a pit stop. So let's see then who this favours. Has the safety car benefit the guys at the back, or is it stabilised still and the advantage still works out? Let's see then. But of course, the guys in front of the top 9 will have a major tyre offset towards in the Grand Prix. So I wonder if P10 downwards might have to do a bit of tyre saving, especially Harvey in P12 as well. Harvey on the mini-comp powered tyres, so he's got a lot of tyre saving to do because it's not a 2-stop strategy, it's a 1-stop, I think.
Yes, usually should be. But yeah, it'll be interesting because the hards will definitely make it to the end. So it's interesting to see how they'll perform, especially during them kind of early laps. I think they're literally just gambling. They're gonna hope for another, or they're not gonna hope for another safety car because they'll want the tires to last the end, and they're doing this for track position. Like, they're wanting to take a gamble to move up the grid further. So it should be a good, interesting it should be interesting to find out what happens in the next 17, 16 laps as Little One comes in.
Quite a strange pit stop there for Little One, so I'm wondering if he's going to go on the hardcore powered tyres then. And let's see if he does. This is another pit stop to go on the hardcore powered tyres, so he's taking it towards the end. So he's thinking of the longevity and hoping to take these tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix then. So he rejoins down in P60 potentially with Aizen overtaking him. Aizen, the benefit for him, he did serve that 10-second penalty in the pit lane, so that 10-second penalty has disappeared. Whether it was his fault or not, it doesn't matter anymore because the damage has been done and he can't get it removed. So he rejoins behind the Little One as he puts himself to P15. So Harvey then on the mini-car powered tyres. So I'm interested in Harvey's strategy because he's only got 1 lap younger tyres in comparison towards likes of Dan, Harry Palmer, Diddy, Agas, Alloy, and Cole Paradox and Cavolis then. So 1 lap difference, but it's all about can he stretch it towards the end, because theoretically he doesn't have to pit again, of course, unless he's done medium, but he's done soft medium. So he could have gone on the hardcore power tyres if he wanted to, but decided not against the fact. So yeah, only 1 lap fresher tyres in comparison towards the guys who have a bit of the mini power tyres. Of course, the tyre life on the mediums is quite bad, is when, especially towards the latter stages, they drop off dramatically as well. There's no recovering them, or all it is pain on the mini power tyres. But the hardcore power tyres, they endure. The longevity of them could go for a long distance. Even when the tyre wear gets bad, it's still in good shape and condition, and it isn't as effective as the medium power tyres, but it slides around a lot, but it has sustained a lot of tyre temperature as well. So Harvey towards the end of the Grand Prix, will he make an extra pit stop? It's almost to do so because he can take them towards the end, and plus you lose a lot of time against the hard runners. So I think the hard runners are in a good position right now from Ruben, Kalen, Tobes, Clerpiar, Piston Racing, Little One, and Isaac. But the safety car is in at the end of this lap. For those that did join earlier on, that's because King Panda and Isaac had to come together down towards turn 2 and turn 3. That's why the safety car has came out, but the safety car will peel back in the pit lane as Dan will continue the race. It was a mega start from Dan, even though he was sandwiched in between. Sorry, that was Jamie got sandwiched in between both McLarens, but Dan went down the inside and took the lead, and Strauss moved himself up to P2. Harry Palmer lost the place towards Strauss as well because he was on the outside and had nowhere to go, so had to bail out of it. So that's why he's down in P4. But we go racing once again then. It is lap 4, and look at Dan. The gap is 1.6, and that's a massive lead. So Strauss has been caught up in there. And here comes the RB, who goes all the way around the outside in towards 1. Now has the left side for 2, but Harry Palmer has the racing line, and he stays ahead there. So I thought Diddy would just go plainly around the outside of Harry Palmer, but not to do so.
Yeah, that has been an unbelievable safety car restart for Danjo. Already 1.5 seconds ahead of Strauss. Strauss just got caught with his pants down basically, as Jamie is now right at the back of him, fighting for that P3. Harry Palmer as well, good defense from him. He's now closing in, as Jamie goes round the outside of Strauss, the other soft runner in this race now, as Kalen also. As Harry Palmer, he's trying to go around the outside, goes a bit wide, but I think he managed to keep it on track, and Strauss keeps that position. So, yeah, good battles, and yeah, good restart from Danjo, who remains P1, as the guys at the back are now having a battle as well.
That's going to be very frustrating there for Jamie Strauss and Harry Palmer having a bad restart. Dan's able to pull away, plus on the mini compound tyres too. Here comes Harry Palmer now, wheel to wheel with the Haas man as we head down towards the breaker zone in towards 17. But the Haas just a bit later, but he almost goes back in the RB, but keeps on the road. Make sure he doesn't hit the back of the McLaren driver. And Harry Palmer then is up into P3 ahead of Strauss there, who outbroke himself as we head down the main straight onto lap 5. It is Dan who leads by a 2.2 second gap. He is at DRS range. Oh, Harry Palmer has locked the rears up, and he almost spins the car, and he's lost 2 places now. 2, because Diddy now and Strauss go over to P3 and P4. So it's a double Racing Bull podium, as Racing Bull are currently leading the way in the championship. It is good for them so far, but the problem is the gap between him and Dan is 2.4 seconds. And of course, the soft compound tyres will get worse and worse and worse. So Dan has a very good, comfortable buffer over the rest of the guys there. As Strauss, you can see, locked his front up there going in towards 9 and 10. And you can see massive pressure from behind. Here comes the McLaren and Harry Palmer then, looking to retake that position he lost in towards 1 when he spun the car around. Strauss has DS as well, as we now head on towards this back straight. We go, here comes Williams of Alloy, who's going to go around the outside, gets squeezed against the wall. There's contact on Strauss once again, makes a mistake, and now he's been relieved into P7. He's still trying to fight with the Williams there as he settles into P7 there. So what happened there? I think the Williams, Jamie gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and he's got a massive queue of cars behind it. But what happened between Alloy and Strauss there?
So it looked like Strauss just kind of didn't realise how close Alloy was to him, and he just kind of squeezed him into a wall. Like, it's from wing to rear right tyre contact. So it's just unlucky from both. Lack of spatial awareness really from Strauss. He's more experienced than that. He should have seen that there was a car still there. So it's kind of poor from Strauss in my opinion.
Unfortunately, self-inflicted. See Cavolis versus Harry Palmer. Cavolis then squeezes his. Oh, there's contact, and I think Harry Palmer or one of them has lost their wing. That is McLaren and Harry Palmer, who has lost his wing there, got squeezed against the wall. And we see Harry Palmer then lacking his own place. So Harry Palmer was in a very good position, but unfortunately has sustained a bit of bad luck ever since down at turn 1 when he lost the rear of the car fighting with Strauss, and he keeps going backwards and backwards. Whilst one McLaren goes backwards, the other one is streaking away. Dan has got a good lead. The gap is 2.7 seconds. Did he catch him? He's on the same age of mini compound tyres, of course. He's got Jamie right behind his teammate on the soft compound tyres, as we see Alloy versus Cole Paradox for the battle for P4 and P5. The Williams versus the Kick Sauber, and let's see then which one of these two will get ahead of who, as the Cole Paradox in the first few races has struggled, but had good result back at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and Spain he went backwards as well. But here comes the Williams then, right to the back of him with the DRS wide open. Can the Williams of Alloy get past him on this back straight? We're about to find out right now, but of course the Williams is saving his battery there, so play the long game, not use this battery just yet, as Cavolis gets past him. Cavolis now is up to P6 ahead of Strauss, as Kalen is on the hard compound tyres ahead of Ruben then. So let's see the gap to leader between these guys, because the more Dan, James in the pit lane, so that's a very early pit stop considering that's the soft compound tyres, and also the safety car came out too, so not many laps spent behind on the soft compound tyres there as he gets rid of them. Let's see if it's the mediums or hards. It's going to be the hard compound tyres on the Racing Bulls car.
Something I have noticed from Jamie a lot this season, he does like that undercut. He does go for early pit stops. So I don't think it's too early for him really. I think it's just one of his usual early pit stops, and it does usually work out for him. So just another one of his usual early pit stops. What was I going to mention? Oh yeah, damage between Harry and Cavalos, both of them have damage actually. Harry Palmer with, I think it was right end plate damage, or maybe left. No, it was left, as he has another lock up there. Not great for him. And Cavalos has left end plate damage, or actually no, right end plate damage. So yeah, both of them have damage, but at the moment it looks like Danjo is just kind of maintaining that gap, even kind of pushing, like he's increasing it really to Diddy, his brother, behind him. So yeah, Danjo 3.1 ahead as Harry Palmer is now making a move on Strauss. Another lockup.
As Strauss enters the pit lane. So I didn't realise those two were brothers, Diddy and Dan. So it's a brother 1-2 so far in this race. As Alloy gets ahead of Cole Paradox, puts himself as a P3, but he locks the car up and he almost gets spun around by Cole Paradox. Cole Paradox was close to taking him out as well, but luckily kept the car pointing in the right direction. They made the move, but lots of that's the common theme as well, because it's so easy to lock up your rear tyres. There's too much engine braking going into those corners, and you see the rear just sliding out ever so slightly. That's the problem I have as well around this circuit, where the rears just step out of me so much as well. As I try to, even with the increased brake bias, it's just so difficult to try and keep the car in control in the braking zones as well. As we see the Sauber of Cole Paradox then right to the back of the Williams' gearbox once again. The DRS wide open. He gets past him. He puts himself into P3. So we're watching Jamie so far. That in P15 he's gone for the undercut, of course. Some people have opted to stay out there a little bit later, as Harvey's was the back of Harry then. As we see these two then in both in the battle for P6. We know Harry Palmer is carrying that from wind damage. So it should be easy pickings for Harvey. The man that finished, of course, I think P2 at the Australian Grand Prix did Harvey, and P5 the race before as well. So good performance there from Harvey. I think I know who he is. I think he's had good results before in the past as well in different divisions. I know he struggled as well seasons ago, but it looks like he's picked up his form so far. But the other Williams is fighting for P3. We're just watching Jamie as well. Let's see if any of these guys dive off into the pit lane. Strauss has picked himself up at 3 second penalty as well in this Grand Prix. Down in P16, he just pits as well. So Strauss, despite pitting, has picked up a penalty as Harvey gets ahead of Harry. He puts himself into P6 ahead of the McLaren driver, who continues to fall down the order with that broken wing. Cavolis as well. That's not a place to overtake, but he tries to go for it. But as you could tell, the space wasn't there. Got cut off immediately, and luckily did not take out the Williams there. The Williams could have easily just wiped himself out there, but luckily paid attention, was aware, and realised there's a Ferrari up the inside, but it wasn't a place to overtake. But I can see the Williams then just messed up his lines going towards this technical part of the racetrack there. Cavolis goes off the track, trying to switch back, but he goes a bit too deep. But with the DRS open for the Ferrari driver, the Williams is vulnerable then. So Alloy was catching Cole Paradox. Now he's under pressure from Cavolis right behind. Here comes the Ferrari with the DRS open with the overtake as well, as Cavolis puts himself into P4. I think Cavolis does have damage. He does then. Explains why he did struggle in that left-hander with the lack of downforce, just carrying so much understeer in that car. But still good pace. He's up into P4, and I think when he pits, he might put on a brand new wing.
Yes, I agree. I think he should, if he wants to be at his maximum pace, because he is a quick guy. He's a quick driver when he is having a good day. So yeah, I think he should, even despite like you losing about 5-6 seconds in the pits if you're replacing your front wing. But it's kind of worth it because you might gain that time back. Once you repair it and get fresh tyres on. So, as there's a bit of a squabble at the back, as Tobes, he's gone deep at the final corner. Very unusual. He's done what Alex Albon has done before. I think he went deep 1 year. As Woban is improving as, P12 for Woban, so in the points. Yeah. I think both Cavalis and Harry Palmer should replace their front wing, because they will gain that time back. Because as I said, they both are quick on their day.
We know what they could do, of course, Harry Palmer and the rest of them, especially on their day, like you said. We've seen the glimpse of performances, the glimpses of competence sometimes. But here, Chris Cavolis against Cole Paradox, who goes defensive on the inside, but makes the corner stick, stays ahead of the Ferrari driver. He's got a big gaggle of cars right behind him. With two cars have broken their wings right behind as well. Harry Palmer has dropped outside the DRS range there, so unable to keep up in the DRS range of Harvey, who's putting pressure against his own teammate as well. So both Williams drivers are close together on the circuit, which we love to see. But Dan pulls away from Diddy. The gap is 3.3 then. Dan's moving towards turn one, and the safety car restart has really helped him set up this race nicely and on his way to potential victory. But there's still 10 laps left to go in the Grand Prix. Is Cavolis going to dive towards the inside? No, he thinks better of it. Of course, the Sauber in front of him was his old teammate, as him and Scott Dodds fought over. I don't think Scott Dodds was impressed with Cavolis last season because he fought him so many times when Scott Dodds tried to progress. But here comes the both Williams drivers, and here comes Cavolis then as we head down towards turn one. It is the Sauber versus the Ferrari, but the Ferrari Cavolis gets ahead of his old team. He puts himself onto P3 and then ahead of the Kick Sauber. I'm surprised though that these guys are not going to pissed off just yet. Are these guys going to go mediums to softs, or is it mediums to hard? Because Jamie has pitted a long time ago, about 4 laps ago, so maybe he could do the undercut the guys ahead. The gap between him and the leader is 21.4 seconds there, so I think Dan can afford this. But look at that, the Ferrari goes deep in the breaker zone. As you can tell, he's got no front wing and no downforce on that car. Therefore, the Sauber has got more grip in those corners and able to stick at the back of the Ferrari. He's under massive pressure now with the DRS open on this back straight. Here he is then. Cole Paradox moves so right to the side. Let's see, can he make it stick going down towards 11? He can. He puts himself back into P3, but mighty scrap as well. This scrap may be helping Jamie as well in P14. These guys constantly slowing each other down, and Jamie keeps gaining and gaining on the guys ahead as well. So maybe P3 could be his towards in the Grand Prix if Jamie keeps with his pace as well. The gap between that pack is about 14 seconds between Jamie and Cole Paradox then, so not too far behind is the Racing Bull driver. I suspect though that James got a lot of work to do, because we know that little one, Pistol Racing, Clerpio, Eisen, Ruben and Kylan doesn't have to pit again because they're on the hardcore power tyres and continue towards the end. So Jamie has actually got to overtake that traffic on the track then, so let's see if it affects him or not. But Piston Racing could be in a good place too, as off as the pit lane goes Alloy. I forgot those people in the hardcore power tyres pitted on the first safety car and don't have to pit again, so watch out for them. They could be a major factor towards the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, just like I thought, there could be, especially these guys, they're staying on them mediums for so long. Maybe they're hoping for another safety car at this point, which obviously the hard runners will not want. And especially Jamie as well, P13 from currently, so he definitely won't want that. Although, maybe he is quite quick now. So maybe he could get in them positions if there was another safety car. As we see Harvey and Cavolis fighting each other. Harvey going down the inside for turn, I think that's turn 11.
Oh, Harry!
Harry and Cavolis. Bit of contact. I just caught the end of that. I don't really, did Harry sneak it up the inside and I'm guessing spun him out.
No, he didn't go over the inside. It just went straight as the back of him. Literally just straight to the back. Just outbroke himself there. So Harry plainly took out Cavolis, and he rejoiced that appeared there. So Harry got a lot of lots to say in the stewards' room after this Grand Prix, but there is 8 laps left to go. I wonder how long these guys are thinking about continuing this stint, because the more they continue, the less laps they have to catch down the people like, for example, Piston Racing, who's up to P5. Piston Racing is doing a good job, and Harvey and Cole Paradox then goes in the pit lane finally. But watch out for Piston Racing, because with 7 laps left to go, I think he could have a good chance to win this Grand Prix. Let's keep an eye on him in P4 as well. The little one's right behind him too, so this could be a big battle between the little one, Piston Racing, and Cavolis is out of the picture because we know he's got to pit again. As we've got a mixture of strategies, because the safety car came out in the first lap, we've got a few people who dived off to the pit lane, and those people who dived off the pit lane in the first stop might have the advantage towards the last stage of the Grand Prix. I think these guys, I don't know, it is quite strange because Harvey, Diddy, Dan, with about 6 laps to go, can they catch up towards these guys? It could be a tall order, it's going to be a massive ask. I'm not quite sure how long the pit lane losses around here, but it's huge. So I'm not quite sure if those guys in first, second, and third might get these guys back towards in the Grand Prix. They have the tire grip, but not the time.
Yeah. Also, just letting you know, I don't even know, I can't remember what the proper word is, but it's pistol racing, not piston. I've noticed you saying piston instead of pistol. So just letting you know, fixing what you've been saying. But at the moment, I think Little One's got a good chance. He's got fresher hards, and like, don't get me wrong, I know these guys are quick, but Little One, fresh tires, it just kind of would make sense if he is up there, which he is. He'll be in fourth after Danjo has just come out of the pits. He's on the soft, so he's going soft to the end. Medium softs seems to be a good strategy. But yeah, it's definitely going to be between Harvey, Pistol, and Little One. That's for sure to the end. Making a very early pit stop during the first safety car. It seems to have helped, especially with track position. And after Diddy pits, then these three will be in the top three.
It seems like pitting the first safety car was the right thing to do as well. But in hindsight, you don't, in the moment you don't know. You have no idea what's the best thing to do. But it's the first. It's like basically the first lap of the race. You shouldn't go for a pit stop straight away. But in hindsight, it was the best thing to do actually. So, but you never know. Safety cars come out later on the Grand Prix, which it hasn't. So that first lap really helps a lot of people, and it's played to the hands. But the safety car could be deployed again, and it is. The safety car is out once again, and that is the second one. Diddy, Harvey, Pistol Racing, the little one, Cavolis, could be all benefited from that one. But Dan, poor Dan, he just came out of the pit lane and the safety car came out then. So I wonder if Diddy might get ahead, because you don't lose a lot of time in the pit lane in comparison to your normal green flag racing. The race distance increases. So will Diddy jump his teammate in the pit lane, and Dan will be absolutely frustrated with that one. See the safety car come out, because Diddy, his brother, right behind him, was 3 seconds away and pulling away as well. So I thought somebody stayed out there, but everybody is pitting this lap then, as they should do. It is a wise thing to do, of course. Dan won't pit, he will stay out there. But I wonder, did he get in front, or has Dan just got the advantage?
Let's see what Diddy has just came out of the pits, and Danjo, he takes the lead again. So, yeah, only just as well as that is Diddy just coming out of the pits. So yeah, Danjo retakes the lead, which is good. And Harry Palmer as well making positions. He had just pitted as well. Or he pitted a couple of laps ago, but he's back up to P7. I wonder what he could do. And Aizen, I just noticed, has stayed out. One of the people who had made an early stop during the safety car, he's in P3 and has stayed out on the 13 lap old hards. So unfortunately, I feel he is just going to drop like a stone in water.
For sure he is. You know what happens to people that stay out there? They pay the price. They get massive punishment with the guys behind on new soft powered tyres. Remember, it's a one-shot qualifying, so therefore everybody has a brand new set of soft powered tyres, and Eisen will be absolutely swamped by the guys behind. So don't be surprised if you see him drop down the order dramatically, even before the first lap ends after a safety car, maybe down into P15. When everybody is finished with him. But it is the two brothers first and second place, then Dan versus Diddy. And I wonder which one of the two brothers then will come out on top. I didn't even know that these two were brothers, but makes a lot of sense now. They're both on the Xbox as well, and they've both got XO and OX after the name. The one's called Dan, and the other one's called Diddy. But I don't think Diddy's actually called Diddy. I think he's called something else. I'm quite sure what his real name is, but I definitely know he's not called Diddy. But we know that Diddy and Dan, they've had some mega pace, especially Diddy, when he finished the podium in Imola after that famous quote I said, as you were there that day as well, when I said that Diddy could be in the party, but on the podium, that's what I meant. Definitely remember that one. Yeah, you do.
I remember that one. But, yeah. But, I don't know what Harry
What is going on? Why is he pitted? That's Harvey in the pit lane. Why has he done that? Has he broke his wing?
Oh, that... Has he got damage?
Yeah, oh.
Yeah, he has. Oh, that is unlucky for Harvey, and he's gone on the medium, so he'll be on the mediums until the end. That is so unlucky for Harvey. Got a poorly child at the moment, I think, as well. So not a great day for him, but at least he has managed to race despite the child illness. But Harry saying to me, just watched it back, and it looks like it just doesn't have to accelerate after being overtaken. I was making that corner. I think he is talking about when he hit Cavalis.
I think as well that in the ERS modes, it's not about accelerator because I've noticed as well that some people like slap it into non out of turn 3 down towards turn 4. So I don't think it's about, maybe he has an accelerator, but it's just about the ERS modes he could have been in, because that's happened before where people have put it into non, other people put it in medium or hot lap, and they come to blows, unfortunately. So that's happened before, happened to me as well when I got stuck behind somebody using it in non. It's all about ERS management around here. People put it into non, medium, and hot lap, of course, depending how low or high the battery is as well, how good they are managing the battery. But the safety cars brought it back together, and Dan's lead has been wiped out. But actually, the safety cars benefited him because, in some ways, that I don't think in the last six laps he was going to catch Pistol and the rest of the guys that were pitted on the first safety car. So I think it's benefited him, the safety car, because he's back in the lead of the Grand Prix again, and it's swung his way, the pendulum swung back his way, and the safety car is coming in towards in this lap. Harry Palmer, though, despite all his troubles, is still in P6. He's been in the wars left and right and centre today, and he's still in P6, so I wonder what the reward is after the Grand Prix. But Jamie, poor Jamie down there in P9, who pitted a long time ago for his first stop, and it's cost him dearly, and he's in P9 now. The pole sitter has fallen down his P9. Maybe the look will change into Las Vegas, but here we go then. It is the final corner, and away Dan goes. It's Dan versus Diddy for the win. Which one of the two brothers gets ahead? But Pistol is right up back at Eisen. This is very important for him to make a move going down towards turn 1. Later breaks in towards first corner, but he outbreaks himself. Here's the Aston Martin, and here comes Little One, then side by side with the Aston Martin, who has no defence given at all. And now here comes Harry Palmer then alongside the Aston Martin. He puts himself into P5 ahead of Eisen, who is struggling on the hard compound tyres, has no grip, has no answer whatsoever. So that's 3 places down in the first sector already for the Aston Martin. It will continue to get worse and worse and worse as Harry Palmer goes out wide in towards turn 9 there. But the two brothers are close together on the Xbox there. Let's see which one of these two will win the Grand Prix, because Dan has been controlling this race, but Diddy's brought back into play with that second safety car. Here he is, the RB driver on the back of his brother, going down in towards 11, but no moves being made so far. However, his teammate Jamie is side by side with Clerpiard going in towards 11, barely the space given there, like it was with Lando Norris and Max Verstappen, but Jamie gives the place back, of course, and Clerpiard goes up into P ahead of the Racing Bull driver, who acknowledged his mistake, realised he overtook off the track, but of course the game would have told him to do so. But we still stays in P9. Harry Palmer, though, on the back of Little One. Here we go, there between these two. You can get biased between these two sometimes. Little One, who took a long break away from league racing, of course, a former Div 3 champion, or Div 2. Now we go side by side on the straight, but Little One breaks later than Harry Palmer and stays in P4 for the time being then. So Pistol Racing, what a fantastic race from him in P3. Despite the safety car not going his way, he sets the quickest laps of the Grand Prix. Started at P9, he's up into P3, and he's doing an absolute mega job. This could be a 3-way battle for first place if Little One and the guys behind can't get involved either. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be an interesting top 3 finish. But which one of the top 3 will it be towards the line?
Just looking at the back there, Strauss, he has been hit into a wall at turn 3. So that is him out. Not out, but he is out of running, basically, pretty much. But yeah, as you continuing what you were saying, Pistol Racing, brilliant race. I think he is a reserve, and he is older than most people, so doing really good despite age. As Diddy was at the back of Danjouer, can't get by as Jamie gets past for P7. But speaking about, as Strauss has retired on track, I don't think that is going to be a safety car. I think it's too late. But by Harry and Little One, they were teammates when Little One won that Div 3 championship. So these two do know how to race each other and know each other. So yeah, as Cavalis is now at the back of Harry Palmer, down the inside going into that final hairpin. Does he get the move done? Harry Palmer tries for a switchback. Can he get it done? He's still there, but now cannot get the switchback done as Pistol Racing sets another fastest lap. He could be in contention for maybe a race win.
And the worst possible place is first place because Dan doesn't want to be there towards the last lap of the Grand Prix. Diddy has played the smart game by sticking in the DRS range of his own brother, tries to keep Pistol behind as well. Pistol trying to find a way, try and get past those two if he can, but stuck in P3, and Dan will be completely vulnerable on the next lap as well. So Diddy has positioned himself in a really good spot here as Cavonis gets past little one as well. Cavonis has driven a decent race in the Ferrari. He's got those two on the back of him, but surely Diddy will stay behind his own brother there for the DRS on the next lap. But he might go for the move. He applies the overtake button and he puts himself in the lead of the Grand Prix then. So he is the one who is now in the lead of the Grand Prix. As you can see, Pistol trying to go around the outside there, but no space there on the outside. Little one gets ahead of Cavonis to go wheel to wheel in towards 11 and 12 we go. As you can see, Little one there with the throttle on goes up into P4. Cavonis under pressure from Harry Palmer right behind, but of course there's no space going into towards that chicane, so has to stay behind for the top being there. But it all comes down to this between the top three. But let's see which one of these drivers will win. One more lap, one more chance. Who wants it more? Who's in the best possible space to win this Grand Prix? You think that Pistol and Dan, but Diddy is first place, the worst possible place to be. But here comes Pistol, not wanting to hang around. He goes up the inside in towards 17. The door is open, but Dan has the outside line and stays ahead in towards second place. That's one attempt there from Pistol, but couldn't quite pay it off. And that's the last lap of the Grand Prix then, so one more lap to go. This is going to be an absolute fantastic race between two brothers and Pistol, the reserve driver in P3, who turned up. This is the first race of the season, I believe. So this is his first race. Currently doing a fantastic job in P3. And I wonder where will he finish towards the end. Will it be him? Will it be Dan? Or will it be Diddy? We'll find out in a few quarters' time. But it's all about the exits as well out of turn 9. We know that Dan, he might be smart enough not to go for it out of turn 9 in towards 11 because he knows that there's one more DRS spot to overtake. But there is no way he can overtake. He is. Here he is there with the DRS wide open. Now he puts himself in the back lead of the Grand Prix. But they're on the same ERS, roughly about 30% as well. So Diddy might have the final lap towards turn 17 then with the DRS. All he needs to do is keep it nice and tidy in this last sector. Can he keep it nice and tidy in towards the chicane? He can. As we head in towards the chicane, we catch a lot of people out as well, especially with corner cutting, but he needs to make sure he keeps behind his brother. The gap is 0.5 of a second, 0.6 then. So Dan has got the gap to 0.6, but Diddy got a massive launch. He gained 0.2 back on the exit there. Here we go for one last time. A Danish back straight with the DRS wide open. Here comes Diddy. Dan's completely defenseless. When he goes to the left hand side, he will. Diddy's forced to go around the outside in towards 17. We go wheel to wheel between the two brothers, but it's all about the exits. As we can see, Dan squeezes him towards the wall. Here comes Pistol, who gets a better exit. He's wheel to wheel with Diddy. As we head towards the line, it is Dan who wins the Miami Grand Prix, and Pistol gets Diddy as he puts himself into P2. What a fantastic finish there for Dan. He squeezed his brother out, which allowed Pistol to take P2 as Cavonis then finishes in P4 ahead of Harry Palmer. Little one is 6th ahead of Cavonis, Cole Paradox. But what a race towards the end there. That was fantastic from Dan to squeeze his brother out.
Yeah, that was good racing from both. Fair, hard racing. Cavonis gets driver of the day, play the game. I'd actually give it to Pistol. I don't know if he is a reserve. I'm pretty sure he is, but he might actually be a full-time driver. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, P2 for him. That is exactly what D'Angelo needed for his championship hopes. He needed to finish ahead of his brother, and he did in this race. He's still got Vegas to go, but if he could be in a shout of still in that championship, and it could be a championship fight going into the final race, which I can't remember what the final race is. So that's fantastic. But yeah, Pistol Racing, first podium of the season. D'Angelo with another win, and Diddy with another podium. Good racing with them all.
Indeed it is. Well, the first time I've seen somebody get squeezed against the wall. It's hard but fair racing. The other person might say it's unfair, but at the same time, no. There was enough space given on the outside there. Neither driver hit the wall, of course. Neither driver hit each other, and Dan wins then ahead of Pistol Racing and Diddy. Bit of put the love there between those two, Dan and Diddy. But once again, well, congratulations towards Dan, who gets his third win of the season. His consistency has been on another level so far this season. He's done a fantastic job, and he closes to close the margin between himself and his brother. Let's see then what happens in Las Vegas. Did he get the final shots in Las Vegas or anybody else as well? Could be anybody's game. But we move on to Las Vegas then, of course. A track introduced back in 1981 and 1982, of course, but it was run under Caesar's Palace and it got shut down ever since because of a lot of criticism. But I believe, who was it? Keke Rosberg won the championship in 1982, of course. He only had one win back in 1982. I think he did anyway, or was that somebody else? I can't remember. But yeah, of course, the last time we had a race around here in Vegas was Caesar's Palace, I think, back in 1981 and 2. But we returned back in 2023, and that's when Verstappen won the Grand Prix ahead of Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez. I think Leclerc took pole with a mega lap time, unexpectedly, because that was a dominant season from Red Bull. But of course, Verstappen and Leclerc went side by side towards turn 1. Verstappen edged Leclerc off the track, and I think he got a penalty with a collision with Russell, but still finished in P1 because Ferrari, once again, mucked up the strategy. It should have been Ferrari winning, but of course, Red Bull and Verstappen did an amazing job as well. And Perez was also in the mix as well, despite having a terrible season midway through 2023, of course, when he had those problems and little gremlins, but came back to finish in P3 in Vegas. Then in 2024, it was a Mercedes 1-2. With Russell in first place and Lewis Hamilton finished in P2, of course, after having a very terrible qualifying. Started in P10, finished in P2. Could he have won the race? The answer could be yes, but of course qualifying it matters as well, and that's why George Russell won the Grand Prix ahead of Russell. And I think was it Norris who finished P3 ahead of Verstappen and Piastri? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, Vegas has showed us some good races despite the criticism as well, because it's all about the glitz, the glamour, and the show as well, the sponsors and the money as well. That's a partnership. That's what it is about F1 these days, all about money, and that's why we see tracks like Miami and Vegas. I really wish Miami wasn't on the grid because, of course, it's not everybody's favourite, and it's on the grid till 2041, and that's a long, long time. So after 2041, hopefully it goes.
No, I think it's a good track. I like Miami. I quite like it. It's obviously it's quite tricky, but you don't want the track to be like really easy. Plus, it's like you get chaos sometimes, and it's good racing, and it's in my opinion it's a good track. But until 2041 is a bit outrageous, in my opinion. But yeah. I think you were talking about Vegas as well. Actually, saying that, both tracks look like an animal of some sort. Vegas with the famous pig, and representing Florida, and there are alligators / crocodiles. Miami's track layout kind of looks like a crocodile head or alligator head, whatever you want to call it.
I never thought about it. Anyway. I never thought about it that way. I haven't really looked at the track layout, but yeah, that's quite interesting there. But of course, then we move on to the bright lights on Las Vegas Strip. The stakes couldn't be higher. Welcome to Sin City, where the speed meets spectacle, and where tonight fortune will rise and fall in the blink of an eye as well. Harvey Lee's in the chat. Welcome, mate. How are you doing? But this is Las Vegas then, a 6.2 kilometer street circuit slicing through one of the most iconic cities on earth. 70 corners, long straights, and endless overtaking opportunities, especially down the Las Vegas Strip. 1.9 kilometers, 1.2 miles. It is fast, wide, and unforgiving. And of course, like I mentioned before, it debuted in 2023 in the real world F1 calendar. Vegas, though, exceeded 340 kilometers an hour down the strip, but I think it's still exceeds more, because I think in league race we've seen about 355, 360 kilometers an hour. You do realise I'm still in the party, don't you? I think, yes, I do, Harry. I do know you're still in the party, but I know you're listening to us. Maybe you got distracted by listening to us, because that's why you made all the mistakes. How am I doing? I'm doing good, thanks, Harvey, mate. How are you doing? I think, even if I hope to see you, Harvey, come back to league racing, because that British GP win in season 3-4 was amazing. I remember when Hugh versus Ferg was a mighty battle versus Duel as well. I still remember that all those years ago from 2020. Just the wrong BB. Break felt awful. But we're going to one-shot qualifying and glow stick. Are you excited for this one?
Well, Vegas, yeah, good track. Fairly high speed. So, yeah, it is high speed and can be tricky and cold. Especially being at night and November, so temperatures are quite low. So yeah, should be great. Should be a good race. Should be a good quality.
we witnessed tonight that thrilling race in Miami. Dan taking the win in a heart-stopping three-way scrap with Diddy and a pistol. Diddy has been a master of consistency, taking 6 podiums in 6 races. But of course, back at the I think it was it which race was it? The Bahrain Grand Prix, where he didn't score a podium, I think, on that day. So he missed 1 podium there, but 5 podiums in the last few races. So it's been an absolute mega result. Plus, he won the Australian Grand Prix, some of that 6 out of 7 podiums as well. His consistency has been on another level as well, and that's why you need to be championships. Because I remember commentating for a different league. I remember that like it was yesterday. Would love to make a return, but I think sadly my days are over. Maybe one day I'd love to make a return. Yeah, I remember when you commentated with me at the Russian Grand Prix as well. That was a fantastic one because that was your first time commentating. You sounded professional as well, so it was really nice to hear you commentate. Maybe Harvey, I'll come to Manchester one day again and go karting with you because I think last time we went to Manchester, we didn't we didn't do much. We went to Spoons, that was it. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but quality is about to start, so I'll take us through it. As it is Strauss again, I am on board with as I go for turn 1. Quite a tricky corner, quite a tricky sector 1 to be fair, as we now go for this right-hander, and now we got a straight, DRS straight. Just getting on the track map at the moment. Now we're at turn 5, this right-hander, and now there's a long left-hander of turn 6. Where do we pick our braking? We pick it now. You want to kind of clip that inside at turn 7, now turn 8. Now turn 9, you can cut that a bit more. You want to use some of that code, but nonetheless, he's still P2. As we're now coming through turn 10, where we've seen Lando Norris crash here in the first ever Vegas Grand Prix. And now turn 11, turn 12, this left-hander with that massive bollard. Nobody knows why. It's like a novelty kind of thing, but yeah, it is really big for some weird reason. Now this slight left-hander is actually turn 13, as we're now, I think we opened the DRS now, yes. Accelerating down the straight, 210 miles per hour for Strauss. Now turns 14, another big bollard, 15 and 16. We saw Colin Pinto crash here last year on the exit. And now up to the line after there's a left-hander of turn 17, the final corner. King Phi Panda gets pole, Jamie in second and Danjo third.
I was on board with Strauss there. It was a nice, neat, tidy lap there for Strauss as he did make a mistake down towards turn 12, a bit deep and opposite the wall on the inside there, on the outside side. But it's King Panda who takes pole ahead of Jamie in P2, Dan in P3 ahead of Alloy, who has another strong qualifier once again. Strauss in P5, Harvey in P6 ahead of Diddy, Pistol Race in P8 ahead of Iverson, Harry Palmer P10, Tobes 11th ahead of Cavonis, Claire PR, Kalen, Cole Paradox, Ruben, and the little one. Those two got disqualified there from the qualified session and will start towards the back end of the field. The one-shot qualified always adds a lot of pressure towards the drivers because you've got those drivers who can't get into a rhythm immediately on a track like this. It's just super, super difficult because you need to get on the absolute limit, but at the same time, you have the absolute best lap time without making any mistakes or invalidating either. But Kang Panda has done that, and he beats it by 800 of a second then. So, Panda on pole, let's see if he can convert it to the win. Of course, he retired on the first lap of the first corner in Miami. Harvey, so we've got a different format. It's not all one-shot qualifying. Every single race this season has a different format. So it's a double header, Miami and Las Vegas. The last double header was Bahrain and Qatar, and there was a mandatory 2-stop in a few races. Other races are normal, but because season 12 is so short, we decided to add a few extra layers into it to make it more interesting and spicy because, of course, F1 24 hasn't been a spectacular game and a lot of people lost faith in it, so we're trying to do something different, make it more fun. But on F1 25, hopefully everything returns to normal. We can add the numbers up again, Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, or how many divisions we have this season, because there was a massive break in between season 10 and 11. There was a 9-month break because we had ACC between, which I commentated for, but unfortunately I didn't quite enjoy commentating for ACC because the spectator menu was absolutely shocking and I didn't have much to go by it off either. So hopefully that F1 25 is much better. I'm going to have a much better season with all the drivers back as well. Hopefully, being more motivated and come back, and we'll see what happens. But Cone is still running, of course. Its first appearance was F1 at 2019, all those years ago, as the formation lap is on. F1 2019 is season 1, and who was it who won the championship? It was in my head, but yeah, it was a long time ago. Season 1. I think Duval finished in P2 in the championship all those seasons ago. But CRL is still going. It's had a lot of history in this past history as well. I've been a commentator for it for 5 years now. 5 years straight I've been commentating for this one, and I'm still here doing Division 1 and sometimes Division 2. Yeah, Soniv, that's the one. I knew it was somebody old like that, but yeah, Soniv was the one who won in Division 1. Then Division 2, of course, not Division 1, Season 1. Then Season 2, 3 belonged to Duo, then I went to Ferg, then a few others along the way, like Yuri Vizza, Walter, has won the championship. We've had O'Reilly, who won the championship before. We have QVR Russell, who has won the championship. But yeah, all those names who was winning championships before in the past few seasons. What such good memories that was as well. But here, in the modern day of CRL, it has gone backwards a little bit, but hopefully it will be on the rise once again in CRL and build up once again a strong league as it was before, and still is right now. We've got Division 1 and Division 2, and we've still got some old faces here, because these guys, some of these guys like me, have been around since like season 1, 2. So yeah, that was it's been a long time since all those seasons ago. And I do miss it. I do watch back the races sometimes. In fact, I watched back the races from years and years ago. And remember me, Scott, Yogurt, all of us commentate together as well in Division 1. It's been so many memories. Me and Jonathan as well. Never forget Jonathan, who has been around since, season 1 and 2 for a long time as well. And the other commentators for Division 1 as well. But on to the present, it is King Panda on pole. The man that's been his co for such a long time now. And he was a challenger as well for the title in Division 3 all those seasons ago against Basil Fox as well, and the guys like Little One as well, and Harry Palmer and Lozano Zero. But all 17 drivers then make their way towards the field as we get racing once again. Let's see the tyre compounds. So majority of the mediums and a few on the soft compound tyres. That's Pistol and Strauss.
Indeed, as Tubbs get disqualified, he went a bit too far into his box. So, yep, as the last car is forming up on the grid. Bit of an awkward start finish straight, but anyway, 4 or 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. I think Jamie gets a better start compared to Kim Fight Bandy. He does. They're side by side going into turn 1. Who gets the lead? Is it Jamie? Is it Panda? Panda's in the lead for time being until Jamie round the outside. Can he get the move done? He's got the move done. He's up into P1 with Panda in second. Danjo fighting Agath Allies. Panda's fighting back for the lead. Going into turn 5. He's got the lead back. Agath Ally and Strauss side by side. Going into turn, I think that's turn 7. So, good start, good clean start from everyone, as Diddy is now up into P5.
There's a bit of contact between the McLaren and the Red Bull. There's High Palmer versus Pistol racing there as Pistol hits the wall. And all this massive contact. There's a Red Bull in the wall. That's Tobes. They both meet up at the wall together. That's the Aston Martin of Eisen as well. So those two have had a bit of coming together, and a massive blunder for their race as well. But what a great lap between King Panda and Jamie. But once again, Jamie is right at the back of Panda then. He used the snitch stream. No DRS, of course, on at this back straight. It is lap 1. DRS being enabled on the next lap as well. But here we go then. Will Jamie think about taking the lead immediately off King Panda? He's got a down right behind him too, with Alloy and Diddy right behind. So let's see all these guys continue up as well in terms of the switch stream. But here comes Dan. He got better straight line speed. And there the racing bullets, we head down in towards turn number 14. We go in towards 16. This chicane here, it catches a lot of people out as well, especially the exit, because it's so easy to lose on the curb on the edge towards turn 14. But King Panda leads the Grand Prix. He lost the lead in towards turn 3 and 4. But getting it back in towards turn 5 and still in the needed Grand Prix. Strauss right behind on the soft compound tyres, looking to capitalise. He's side by side with Harvey in the Williams there as we go through turn 3 and turn 4. DRS is enabled, but Strauss just gets ahead on those soft compound tyres. He's back up into P5 and he's trying to put the chase on Diddy in front of him as well. As we see Jamie then stays behind King Panda for the time being. Well, King Panda, he made it one more lap then without being a DNF.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you're handing it off to me or not, but you are. So As there's a bit of a spin at the back there. That's Strauss. Not sure if he hit someone. He might have. I'll check if he's got damage. It doesn't look like it, so I think he's gotten away with that unscathed. Yes, he has. He's got no damage. So, not exactly sure what happened. I only caught the yellow flag and him not on the racing track. As now we see who's that? That's Spawn Kalen in a wall somewhere, maybe. Don't know. Harry Palmer's up to P6. It's Jamie now up into P1, overtaking Panda. Panda vulnerable because he's got no DRS. Is now Dan looks for a move going into turn 14. Can't get that done. Is at the back. Kalen Bartlett. Don't know what's happening with him. Don't know what's happening with him at all. As Strauss now goes deep into turn 14. What a weird second lap this has been.
Yeah, unfortunately for Strauss, they made a mistake into World 7. Like you said, I'm quite sure if he spun by himself or made contact with somebody. It's Pistol versus Cavonis for the battle for P8 there. Unfortunately, between those two, let's see what happens as we see Cavonis then gets ahead of Pistol there. But Harvey, he's 2.93 seconds away from the top 5. That's painful, especially on lap 3, because if you lose the DRS straight away, it is so difficult to claw your way back through as well, because the guys ahead of you have that DRS advantage. They're able to pull away on the both straights there, and you're vulnerable. You have literally nothing left. You could have a good pace, but unfortunately, we've seen how pivotal it has been this year for both of us in terms of league racing. When it comes to DRS, you've got to stay with it at all times. You cannot afford at all any single moment of the Grand Prix to break that DRS, because if you do, that's your race over unless the safety car comes back and brings you all back together. Because I think that's been the lesson of DRS so far. It is known as a tool to overtake, but so far it's been used in other ways to break away from guys behind as well, and pull away as well to leave yourself in the battle for either Grand Prix or elsewhere. We can see that Harvey's lost a lot of time and under massive pressure from Harry Palmer out behind as well. Cavonis is 1.4 away, but here we go. The top 5 then all in the battle for first place. The two brothers, Jamie, Panda and Alloy, who's up into 4th place. But Harvey has been overtaken by Harry. But here comes King Panda on Jamie, headed down towards turn 14. Gets ahead, but climbs the curb to Jamie. Might be the pressure there from Dan right behind, but not yet for the time being then. Jamie looking for redemption after his race went terribly back at the Miami Grand Prix by pitting too early, and the safety car really did destroy his race. But here we go on the main straight once again as we head down towards turn 1. All these guys are so bunched up, so close together. It's going to be a thrilling race here in Vegas between all these 5 involved in the battle for first place.
Yeah, I think that Pistol Racing yet making an early stop doing a Jamie. He's actually, I don't know if that was a bit of a glitch there, but looked like he got held up a little bit by the game. But I think he's all right. Yeah, Panda taking back the lead. Jamie 2nd, Dan 3rd. It's just, I mean, it's been a good race, but as you were saying, if you're out of that DRS, it's not a fun time. As Strauss again going for another spin. Looks like Vegas is not treating him well at all, to be frank. Although none of the races today have been really treating Strauss well. Miami, he spun and hit a wall, and then again spun and hit a wall. So I don't think he just likes America. I don't think he likes America at all, and he won't do after this, definitely.
A race to forget here for Strauss, who won the Spanish Grand Prix, was the last race after he... Oh, here comes the Williams down the inside. That's a very aggressive move. Makes contact with the McLaren, and he's out of shape. And Diddy goes through as well. That's a very late lunge there from Alloy, and therefore paid the consequences. He's dropped down into P5 now, still in this DRS train there. But I'm quite surprised though from Alloy. I know he wants to get past. I know he's 4th in the DRS train. Ideally, he would be like 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but unfortunately, dropped down to 5th place.
I will add, it did look like, as Cole Paradox gets a 10-second time penalty, it did look like Alloy just outbroke himself a little bit, so it was an accidental kind of dive bomb. So, yeah, I think Alloy just outbroke himself, maybe didn't expect Dan to maybe break early, or it was just a simple lapse of judgment, as Strauss also gets a 10-second time penalty. Both the Dutchies getting time penalties in the pit lane. Unlucky. But yeah, I don't think Alloy meant to go for a move there. I think he either just outbroke himself or didn't expect Dan to break that early.
Fair enough there. Avoid the mistake as much as he could there, and luckily both of them got unscathed as they continue racing. It's his lap 5 out of 18. King Panda leads the Grand Prix for how much longer? There's a virtual safety car. VSC has been deployed, and I really hope a safety car doesn't come out. No yellow dot on the screen there to signify the safety car will come out. So, a VSC then, a neutralization has been thrown in towards this race, and King Panda would have loved that because he had guys all over the back of him. He had Diddy, Jamie, and Dan right to the back of him out of turn 13. So, this virtual safety car has been a blessing in disguise. They're able to survive the lead for another straight. But let's see then how long King Panda can survive there in first place, because usually on the Las Vegas Strip we see overtakes absolutely everywhere. As in the pit lane these guys come then, so maybe this is the best time to pit, as Dan has stayed out there. I wonder, this strategy call for him may be a bit of a blunder there, because these guys will not lose a lot of time in the pit lane. The race distance increases by 40%. It's a set of hardcore power tyres then, and these guys can take them towards the end. I don't think Dan has played the strategy right here, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, and well, maybe it is better to stay out, as Wu Bang gets the third time penalty of this race. That is in the pits. The reason that virtual safety car did come out, by the way, is because of Cole Paradox. He's got no front wing, so he's absolutely hit the wall. I think I actually saw his car at turn 5, so I think it was there, and he's got another 10-second time penalty. So yeah, there's a difficult track as Agas Ally has lagged out of the session. That is unlucky, as actually Strauss as well. He's facing the wrong way at turn 15. Yeah, I don't think this track is treating most people very well tonight. I did say it would be tricky, as there's another virtual safety car. God, man.
Well, if this VSC stays out long enough, it could play into the hands of Dan, because he has a pitted jet. The gap between him and King Panda is about 15 seconds. In fact, instead of guessing, put it to leader. There you go, 60.5 seconds there is the gap between himself. We know that Eyes will let King Panda through because, of course, he's on newer tyres, so I don't expect that King Panda will get held up. But maybe Dan should pit now. He will pit, and this is a very good time for Dan to pit as well, to get off those really compound tyres. So this VSC, the second VSC then, it has played into his hand, because if it didn't, if the virtual safety car never came out, under normal racing circumstances, he would have lost a lot of time when he pitted to go on the hard compound tyres and take them towards the end. So this VSC has still brought him into play, as Claire PR follows him in the pit lane too, and I think Dan should rejoin, maybe in the lead of the Grand Prix. Here comes Panda and Jamie just headed towards turn 1 there. On the left hand side is the Recaro driver. Who gets there first? It is Jamie who plies the throttle and stays in P2 there. But Dan is still in the mix. I thought the VSC disadvantaged him in the first stint, especially staying out there. But in the second stint, it's his words into his hands. Oh no! VSC has been deactivated, and here comes Dan, who goes through on Jamie as we head down towards turn 5. The reason why I said oh no, because Little One has picked himself up a 3-second penalty. But there's a few cars being there was 5 cars here in the first stint, now there's 3, so 2 of them are gone.
Yeah, Diddy has lost a bit of time. He's now down in P6. Everyone has made a pit stop, so there's no more mandatory pit stops. Harry's gained a bit from these safety cars and pit stops, so he's up to P4 now, fighting with Agas Ali at the moment in P5. So I think, yeah, Diddy has lost positions. Little One, unluckily, he started in P17. He was up to P7. He had made his pit stop, but unfortunately due to that drive through, he's going to lose all them positions again. Although he still might gain 1 or 2 because he started in last. As Agas Ally gets up into P4, yellow flag again. Cole Paradox setting that off, but didn't look like anything major. This racing up into P9, he started in P8. Claire PR, he's in 8th. He pitted on the last virtual safety car, and he's actually coming in again. I'm not sure why. Maybe he's got a drive through, that's why. Scavallo sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far.
I thought that it was Little One who picked up a drive penalty, not Claire PR. So did they both pick one up?
I think both Alpines. Both Alpines did. Yeah, that's unlucky. As Scavallo And he's now up to P8, overtaking Pistol Racing. Cavolis is on soft compound tyres, but they won't last the end. Surely not. They'll be screaming for release after that, after this stint. If he does make him to the end, then fair enough. But I don't think they will last.
He's got a long way to go on those soft compound tyres. Cavolis a very aggressive stint. He may have the grip now, but later on he won't have the grip, and there he'll be screaming, like I said. Those tyres will be sliding all over the place as well. So watch out for the tyre dropper towards the end there for Cavolis. Watch out for Pistol Racing, who's behind him there of Cavolis as well, and Harvey and Peter. But so far, it was a top 5 fights for the lead of the Grand Prix. That was down to 3 with Jamie, Dan, and King Panda. It is Jamie who has won as well before, I think, here at... no, he hasn't. He actually hasn't had a podium just yet here in Cone either. So he's going for his first podium, maybe his first win of the season. However, people in front of him, like Dan, who has got 2 wins in fact 3 wins. He just won the Las Vegas Grand Prix, the Miami Grand Prix, and also King Panda, who won the first race of the season back in Austria as well, but had a few DNFs along the way. Did Panda's little one has spent the pit lane, and he's retired from this race, so he's out of the Grand Prix. That leaves us down to 16, but here comes, oh no, there's a VSC, and Dan was about to overtake him as well, but they all slowed down as well. Based the Delta, and Dan has taken one action. They all slowed down dramatically.
It's actually a safety car.
Oh my goodness me.
There is damage for someone up here. Someone up here has got damage. I think it looked blue and red, but I don't want to... I don't know. Did I see damage? Or am I tripping? I thought I seen damage. As well ones out has left the session due to him retiring. But I thought I saw damage. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm tripping. I think I'm tripping.
Have you noticed who's taken into the Grand Prix? That's Dan. So King Panda let him go. I think King Panda may have had an illegal overtake. I thought that when the VSC came out, King Panda was still in the Grand Prix. The advantage gone towards Dan's ways now, as he has the lead of the Grand Prix. This brings back Diddy. Where is Diddy? Coming down in P6. So Diddy, who lost a lot of time. I think he had to double start behind his teammate, didn't he? That's why he lost a lot of time under that first VSC we had during the race. So Diddy is brought back into play. He lost a lot of time too, didn't he? In that first stint.
That's why I saw white and red front wing, is because Strauss has got damage, but he doesn't come in. Strauss has got damage. His front wing is entirely gone, but he has stayed out for another lap. Don't know why, but he is he stayed out with damage. So yeah, fair enough. But yes. That's where I saw damage, possibly.
Because it was that man in P16 in the Haas who sees the leader behind him as Strauss then is lacking an end plate. Unfortunately, the Dutchman is having a torrid time here.
An end plate?
An end plate?
He's missing a lot more than an end plate, I'll tell you that.
Did I say end plate?
Yeah.
Sorry, he's lost all of his wing. Has Strauss having a torrid time out here in USA as he made contact with the wall in Miami and in Vegas too. The man that came back to win the Spanish Grand Prix last week, as we see him then trundling around with no front wing as he makes his way back in the pit lane. So all these guys are brought back. This is going to help Harry Palmer alloy as well, because if you remember the first stint when all those squabbles happened as well, people dropping down the order dramatically, it left the top 5 alone to fight it out for the lead of the Grand Prix. But this safety car has brought back everybody contention as well, even if Strauss catches up on, I'm not quite sure, because he's a long way behind. Plus, he's got to make another trip to the pits to change, well, to put on a brand new front wing, and hopefully he can stay in the race. But I really hope these VSCs or safety cars do come out, because I want a nice straight finish towards the Grand Prix. I think without all these VSCs and safety cars in Vegas and in Miami, I think we'll be done with the stream by now. But of course, all these things happen for a reason. It is Division 2, of course. We proved safety cars. We expect these safety cars and VSCs to happen. And hopefully, this is the last VSC or safety car, as I want to continue with normal racing. I think these guys also will continue with normal racing too and get back to business.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was going for the phone. just Harry Palmer. Where he doesn't actually contribute to the conversation, he's just sitting on his phone, and when he does got called up, he's like, oh. So.
Do you know what Harry Palmer's doing?
He's here right now. Harry Palmer, hello.
So Harry, how do you think this race is going for you right now?
Yeah, thanks. We stayed out to avoid getting lapped.
Well, Harry, do you think now? Harry, in P4 behind Jamie, Panda, and your teammate, do you think you have a chance of being on the podium or potentially winning now? Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Well, that was very pointless because your voice stopped to share. So, yeah, there's no point. I was watching the stream back, and your voice
Right.
is not to share.
Hello.
So repeat that again.
Fixed it. It's probably going to be whoever can survive turn 5 the best. The track is just DRS's, so it's whoever can survive and not be in first coming into the last few corners. Because if you're in first, you're not winning. That's a fact. Although the tyres, everyone's on very cold tyres, I'll give you that clue.
But what happened is what? The safety car is in, but the final words for me, what happened in the first stint because you just dropped away from the DRS train?
What the? Strauss and Alloy, I think, had a crash, and I think Alloy just backed off. And then we lost about 3 seconds, but I'm gonna go.
Good luck, Harry. So the safety car is coming in towards the end of this lap. Strauss, who had a good qualifying in Vegas and also in Miami, but unfortunately couldn't string it together to try and get a decent result. He's at the back of the field. I think he's still wingless. He isn't. He's got a new wing. But we go racing once again here in Vegas once again. And Harry Palmer is right at the back of Jamie as we head down towards turn 1. Jamie goes defense from the inside. Can Harry go all the way around the outside in towards 1? Not quite. Jamie just sticks it there as he has the racing line and still in P3 for the time being then. As we see Dan lead him away. King Panda is in P2 ahead of Jamie. Where's Diddy? Diddy, the championship leader, is in P6 behind Alloy. Pistol Racing is in P7 with Cavolis. On the medium compound tyres right behind as we head down towards turn 5. Anybody looking to make a move in towards the blinker zone of 5, and nobody's close enough unless Caleb can try and go for a move on the Ferrari Ruben. He does as Caleb puts himself into P13 ahead of the Ferrari driver as we have Strauss in P16 who still hasn't caught up, but the safety car doesn't wait for people to catch up. It goes in when it feels like it to. As Azen picks himself up at 3, second penalty as well. The man that's running down in P10 in the Aston Martin, just on the fringe to the top 10 there, but might suffer a bit towards the end as well with that penalty on his shoulders. But I wonder now, with Diddy contention once again, could he be in the mainframe and try and get a win as well here in Vegas? He's in PC, he's got blistering pace, and in front of him, Alloy makes a mistake in 5th place, and Diddy is on the back of him already, as here comes Harvey right behind us as well, and Pistol Racing. Here comes Pistol side by side with the Williams driver. They both have the slipstream behind. Oh, Alloy teleports back ahead, and here comes Harry Palmer, and here comes Panda for the lead of the Grand Prix. Panda's back in front on the McLaren driver. Dan gets shown the wall on the outside there, but it's a double McLaren podium. The disappointment of Miami turned into a celebration for Harry Palmer, but there's still 6 laps left to go, including this one as well. So all work to do in front of the field there. But Jamie is back in the attack as we head down towards turn 1. Is Jamie looking for a move in towards 1? He isn't. He stays behind. Harvey is side by side, makes contact with the Red Bull driver of Pistol, but Pistol goes out wide, and Cavolis is there on the outside of turn 3 of turn 4. Nice move all the way around the outside to put himself into P8.
Yeah, good moves. Hard racing up and down the field, which is good to see. Unfortunately for Strauss, unless 4 cars retire, he's not getting any points in this Grand Prix. So that would leave him pointless this entire 2 double-header Grand Prix, as he gets a 3-second time penalty there. He's not had a good time tonight. He is a race winner this season, but he's just having a hard time, and he's had enough. He's retired in the pit lane. Poor Streisand's Panda has a massive tank slapper. He coming out of, I think that's turn 13, turn 12, around then. So yeah, he has a massive tank slapper. He is vulnerable now, although he has got DRS. So Danjo is actually vulnerable. Maybe it was a tactic for Panda to get that DRS. No, I doubt that. That was genuine tank slapper, but yeah, remains P1 despite the massive rear end loss in turn 12.
There is no room for error whatsoever. One mistake and a step oversteer, or you're off into the walls, or swallowed up by the DRS train right behind as well, as King Panda still in lead the Grand Prix as we head down towards turn 1. Harry Palmer has a bit of a moment out of turn 1 there, defended from Jamie right behind as well. Jamie is still going for his first podium of the season. Alloy is right behind him too, but here comes Diddy right at the back of Alloy, side by side with the Williams as we head down towards this section. Here we go. It looks like the Williams has better low speed, but Diddy is a bit late to the brakes. There goes up into P5 and behind his teammate as well. So two McLarens. Oh, Panda's made a mistake, and through goes Dan. He's back into first place. So Panda seems to have struggled with his rear tyres, and it seems to be like he's having massive oversteer, massive wheel spin. And now Harry Palmer will find the pressure as well. Harry Palmer did say a few comments about Panda as well before the stream started. I'm not going to say what he said, but Jamie's right at the back of Harry Palmer as well as we head down towards turn 11. Before turn 11 and turn before turn 11 and turn 12, James got a lot of ERS in store as well, almost 100% as well as we head down the Las Vegas Strip. There is 4 laps left to go. It's all to play for between any of these guys, of course. DRS helping these guys prevent themselves up the order, but here comes Palmer on the back of Panda. Let's see if Palmer then will try and get ahead of Panda, but he does have the ERS, so Panda stays ahead. But here comes Panda for the lead of the Grand Prix. Here comes Harry Palmer, stays behind his teammate. Very wise thing to do indeed. Maybe his rear gunner, maybe trying to stay straight third place, but he makes a mistake towards 13 and 14 there, and he might get swallowed up by the guys behind as well. Jamie and Diddy are right behind as well. So here we go on the main straight. Look at Jamie's ERS management, very sufficient indeed. Might get past Harry Palmer with the lack of ERS as we head down towards turn 1. You can see that Harry Palmer is derated there in towards turn 1, but it's almost out of the DRS range. Harry Palmer's mistake in towards 14 might have cost himself the DRS. As you can see then, Diddy is defending from Jamie, or Jamie is defending from Diddy. But here comes Diddy on the inside towards 4. That's a fantastic move there from Diddy. And once again, he takes away Jamie's championship hopes, or podium, shall I say, as we see Diddy and overtaking Jamie. King Panda is defended from Dan into first place, in towards turn 5 there. We can see the Williams out of shape in towards 5. That was Harvey, I think, against Alloy, and Cavolis is right behind 2 for the taking. But there is 3 laps left to go in the Grand Prix. Panda still leads. Dan's right behind. Harry Palmer's right behind too. He struggled in the last lap, sustained DRS range, and also was lacking ERS, but hopefully this time around he's got a lot of batteries and he can fight it. But look at that, not a lot of battery there for Harry Palmer, so he's struggling in terms of ERS management. He may be vulnerable in the last few laps of the Grand Prix towards Diddy and Jamie.
Nah, I reckon he'll be fine. But yeah, Harry Palmer, last lap, turn 1, you said he had a bit of rear end loss. He actually got hit a little above Jamie, so that's why he lost the rear end a tiny bit. And Diddy overtaking Jamie, I don't think Jamie will fight that too much since Diddy is the championship leader and he is fighting for a championship. As Danjo takes the lead again from Panda. Danjo hits the inside wall. Panda gets a good run compared to Danjo, and he really takes the lead due to Danjo hitting that inside wall, outside? Whatever wall it was, as Kalen, and Tobes almost hitting each other, but Tobes gets past for P10, or Kalen gets past Tobes for P10, and the Asian thinks, you know what, I'm going to overtake Tobes as well, but Tobes fights it back, and they have a little bit of wheel banging, but it's all clean, fair racing. Diddy is now only a couple tenths behind this lot.
Oh, contact! And Jamie's at the wall!
Oh, Jamie!
Oh my goodness me. I think Pistol made contact with Jamie and he forced him to a spin, unfortunately. That's a shame for Jamie, who was running a fantastic race. And look at this, here comes Diddy on the inside, in towards turn number 9 we go. But Harry Palmer still the outside line there, used the battery straight ahead, but lacking battery, which means he might be suffering on the straight there, might be vulnerable towards Diddy right behind, and Pistol racing too. Harry Palmer is trying to cling onto a podium, watching his teammate fight for the lead of the Grand Prix, and Diddy is trying to recover after a bad pit stop in the first stint, being held up by his teammate there. As we can see, both Williams Williams in the background, scrapping away. But here we go then on the back straight once again. 1.9 kilometers, 1.2 mile straight on the Las Vegas Strip here with the DRS wide open. Harry Palmer has got no battery left whatsoever. But here, sorry about that. Here comes Dan on the back of King Panda. Dan puts himself in the lead of the Grand Prix ahead of the Aston Martin driver, whilst Harry Palmer remains in P3, struggling with the battery there.
Yeah, Harry Palmer is struggling with battery, but still remains P3. I do wonder what had happened there between Jamie, what caused him to spin. As Harvey is coming in, and that's because he's got front wing damage. Harvey again. Oh, he's been so unlucky again with this front wing damage, but maybe he can try and steal a faster lap from whoever has it. But yeah, Harvey really unlucky these two races. Panda on the back of Danjo doesn't decide to go for a move. As Pistol Racing maybe thinks of a move for Diddy, but doesn't get it done. Maybe he's on he's trying to prove that Red Bull is better and is deciding to take out both V-carbs instead. Obviously that is a joke. Please don't come for me.
I don't think you will, but yeah, Pistol Racing then, that's his second attempt on the racing board there. Last time he tried that move, he took out Jamie, not on purpose of course, we all make mistakes of course, but anyways, that's how racing goes sometimes. But here we go, it's the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. It's all about placing yourself in the right place. Where do you want to be towards last lap of the Grand Prix? I know for sure, I don't want to be in first place, so maybe King Panda will stay behind. You can see he slapped his ERS into non/medium, then trying to regenerate the battery, ready for the last lap at the top of the Grand Prix. But he's the McLaren sandwich, but maybe King Panda is in the best spot in the house there, especially with DRS on the back of Diddy Danjo, in first place. But Danjo, he won at the Miami Grand Prix, but this time not been so lucky against King Panda because he defended from his teammate, or his brother, of Diddy on turn 17 on the last lap on the long straights. But here in Vegas might be a completely different story with Panda Palmer on the back of him as well. So let's see if Danjo can defend. He's got a lot of battery installed as well, so he's very good at saving his battery, unlike Harry Palmer in the second McLaren. Harry Palmer has still got to watch out for Diddy in P4 as well, because Diddy's absolutely flying. Here he is then. Diddy might make a move going in towards turn 5, but he's a bit too far to do so. Harry Palmer just remains in P2, but this is going to come down to the wire, especially down towards turn 14. I think King Panda has the best seat in the house in P2 to take away the lead. Danjo, though, has got a lot of ERS to store, so it's all about the exit of turn 13 then. Can Danjo get the exit he needs? Let's see then if he can or not, but the gap is currently 0.6 of a second. Maybe he need a bit more than that to try and seal the deal winning this Grand Prix. That gap's gone up to 0.7. It's clear PR highs for tyre from this race, but this is the main critical point, the most pivotal point of this racetrack is turn 12. It's all about the exit here, and Danjo's got a perfect exit, but King Panda is only 0.5 behind of Danjo then, so I don't think Danjo can respond to anything to do with this, but the DRS is wide open. You can see Danjo already depleted there on the main straight as Panda gets closer and closer and closer with the DRS with the battery. Let's see then, goes towards the outside line, and he takes the lead, but no, Danjo lays the brakes, stays in the lead, only just so, but he might come down to the wire. But King Panda hits the wall on the inside there. Harry Palmer is on the back of it, but no battery. Can Panda outdrive Danjo? It's going to be so close towards the line. Here we go. Which one of them will finish first? It is Danjo, who wins for the second time in a row in USA. He won in Miami. He wins in Vegas. Only just. It came down by margins of a second there. 300 of a second between Pando and Danjo. First and second there as Harry Palmer finished on the podium with P3. What a fantastic race there that was between those two. I thought Panda had him, but Danjo just defended again in towards the braking zone. Fantastic placement from Danjo once again. What a race that was. Close stick.
Yeah, great race. Good defense from Danjo on that final lap as well. I thought Harry Palmer would have had a chance going into that final corner, but still podium at the end of the day. Well done to him. Well done to Danjo as well. And Pandas, after a good drive after the unfortunate event that happened in the first race, Miami. And yeah, Brit top 3 then. Not seen that for years. The reason I was quite sad about Claire PR is because he has had a horrid season so far. He's not gotten many points at all. and he is a good driver, but he's just been so unlucky.
Yeah, poor Clerpior. He's been around CRL for such a long time as well. I've seen his best results as well, his highlights and podiums as well in the past few seasons, but he's still down in P17 in the championship, and he's still struggling. Maybe P18 because Pistol Racing scored a lot of points as well, finished in P5. But yes, well done to Danjo. Second win in a row, mate. Fantastic. And he closed the gap down towards his brother, Diddy, as well. So it's a brother battle for the championship, like it is a MotoGP between Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez. The two of them going head to head in MotoGP. But this time in Formula 1 edition, League Racing, it is the two brothers of Danjo and Diddy fighting for the championship, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds as well. I think Danjo won't take the lead just at the championship, but he will get closer and closer. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. But hopefully, your main commentator Scott Dodds will be back as well alongside Closely. There's two Scotsmen that work well together. I love watching those two commentate because it's so funny as well. You two are so good at commentating together.
Yeah, we go together like something and something.
Two couples, I think.
Maybe a vinaigrette and salad. That's a good thing. You reached. Well done, on the podium, Harry. Generally.
Hi, Harry. Well done the podium today, mate. Well done.
Cheers.
Do you think you deserve it? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You do. You do.
No, he doesn't.
Well, podium interviews would be a bit strange because we got a double header, but do you guys usually do podium interviews? Because if not, I'll just jump straight off.
No.
Fair enough. I won't do them then. But just want to say, Harry, congratulations, mate. Well done on P3 today.
Cheers.
So we move on to the final race of the season. It is the Belgian Grand Prix next Monday. Join us back. We'll join Scott Dodds and Glowstick back for the last race of the season in Belgium. Will it be Diddy or will it be Danjo? The battle between the two brothers go on towards the final race of the season. That should be very interesting. But join me back in Division 1, me and Robert Allen for Division 1 at 8 o'clock for the leader championship between Sahilo and RT Bob Pierre. We move on to Las Vegas and Miami for Division 1. Join us back since then. But goodbye for now. And also enjoy the Monaco Grand Prix this weekend. It will be enjoyable. It'll be an absolute turbo race, but we know that anyways for Monaco. But we'll see you all later. Goodbye for now. Good night. Thank you, Close Tip, commenting with me.
Yeah, you're welcome.